Oh, wait, is that my hand? Ah, crap.
You can see the hand.
Oh, well, it was worth a try, right?
Take two, yeah.
Welcome to Geek Thoughts,
Hello,
where
peeps.
I'm Eric, this is Matt's Geek Brain, and we're going to invite you now to a very special episode of Geek Thoughts where size matters, and we're going to need bigger guns.
Yeah! It's about Godzilla.
Yeah.
And Godzilla's a thief because he polished off my strawberries and cream.
He loves strawberries and cream.
Yeah. Frappuccino.
He's a great guy, but when he's hungry, thirsty, yeah, he can be a real ass.
Yes.
We need bigger drinks, too.
Yep.
I've still got mine, luckily, and, no. Okay. Where shall we start?
Oh, Godzilla's awesome. He's amazing. I mean, without Godzilla, there might not be contemporary geek culture as it is.
Mm-hmm, yeah, never has there been. There is not a more transnational pop culture icon than the big guy right here.
Yeah, I mean, everyone, grew up with the creature features.
We certainly did.
They would show reruns of Godzilla at midnight, and we'd stay up and watch it and stuff. And the first introduction to him was, the black and white stuff.
Yeah, it was either the Japanese version or the heavily cut version with Raymond Burr.
Yeah. And
Wow. Yeah. Now, Godzilla's a mystery, and who can possibly solve this mystery?
Roland Emmerich.
Yes. Well, I was going for I was going for Quincy or whatever that show was that Raymond Burr was on in the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Quincy.
Quincy could solve the mystery.
Yes. And get stomped in the process. Well, naturally, when I reflect on Godzilla, I think of where my geekdom began. Just being introduced to the character through comic books. I mean, he was a Marvel comic for a really long time.
Yeah, he was a video game character too. He had a video game for NES, and I think it was for NES. Yeah, it was great. I mean, we used to go to my friend's house and
Did I ever play this?
It was so great. The graphics were so cool.
Was it better than the Silver Surfer game?
No, nothing's better than the Silver Surfer game.
Yes, nothing's better than dying after one hit.
Mm-hmm.
But going to the comic book store, going to the video store, and there were the Godzilla stands. Don't play with your food. That's the new containment field for Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla, and they didn't have a budget in Japan, so Mecha Godzilla became a Godzilla figurine with a Starbucks cup affixed to his head.
Okay. We're having fun here. We're just trying to.
Well, that's what Godzilla is. It's fun.
Yeah. But, the video stores, the stands. Remember Dave's Comics?
Dave's Comics and Collectibles had a whole bunch of Godzilla collectibles and swag.
They had that
come in there as a
huge
kid, yeah.
cardboard cutout from Godzilla 98. It was in the window for years and years and years. And I remember being at the store on a rainy day and just expecting Godzilla to stomp through the city like he has done so many times.
I always have, geek dreams about, Godzilla stomping, it's like when, you're at work, just having this mundane day. I want to see a giant leg or, Godzilla walk across the thing. It would totally make my day.
Yeah, or give you a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't kill Hank Azaria, though. Nothing can kill Hank Azaria.
Nope.
And what would be our first introduction to Godzilla in the movies? I think it was in print, wasn't it? I mean, we had a book that was all about Hollywood and 80s horror and
there was, yeah.
It was that book of the Gremlins were on the cover and Godzilla was in it, King Kong was in it. There was the phenomenal pictures and stills, close-ups of Godzilla, the costume, from the black and white.
Yeah. I mean, we had at our elementary school library, we had books that were introductions to these movies, and the Godzilla one was always checked out. And you sit at the table and it's review them and stuff. Oh, this week we can't get enough of this.
And it was always the same kid. It was always the same kid who was nerdier than you.
Yeah.
Who was probably holding the book and holding onto it for as long as possible. Same kid would be checking out the Godzilla movies from the store, and you couldn't get them.
Yeah, Godzilla, or Gojira as he's known in Japan.
Gojira.
Gojira is Japanese, of course, for awesome.
And of course, they touched upon that in the a little-known indie film from '98 that didn't get any press, but we can get to that in a minute. There's a new movie that came out. I saw it. You didn't.
I haven't seen it yet,
No.
although
The reviews are great.
is Walter White's gonna give Godzilla some meth.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be even more of a terror than he is.
Pure meth, some pure purple meth.
That's all we need is a hyperactive Godzilla.
But before, I mentioned Godzilla was a comic book character, and the one thing I imagined for the film was, you know what we need? We need S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers to come and help Godzilla deal with these monsters. Because Wikipedia actually lists Godzilla as an Iron Man. Oh no! Godzilla down! Godzilla down! Told you those cups were a bad idea.
Foiled by the strawberry cream.
Yeah, Starbucks strikes again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we could do this on Godzilla and Starbucks.
Yeah. To show us, I mean, these figures are venti sized.
Yes.
So.
Triple venti right here. It takes about that many shots to keep him going, but and we got these from a collector. He ran a store. It wasn't the comic store; it was a candy store.
Yeah, it was a candy store.
Yeah. And this, of course, is much closer to the design that we're all familiar with. The plates on the back that are really spiny and really sharp and conduct radiation or whatever. Well, perhaps we could just get right to it and talk about
Godzilla 98.
Yes.
Peeps, I was 17 when Godzilla 98 came out.
And it's one of the first things you think about when, I mean, a lot of us anyway, because we were children of that era. When you think of Godzilla in America, inevitably, this is what you think about. The giant iguana.
Yeah.
And Matthew Broderick.
Ferris Bueller defeats Godzilla.
Some more Space Dust on here.
Jean Reno.
Gene Reno.
Gene Reno. Hank Azaria.
Loved his coffee. Very clever.
Yeah, his obsession with coffee in the movie was awesome. It mirrors my own experience. Oh, it's like, I need caffeine to fight my monsters and write my books. And no, Godzilla is an inspiration for me, peeps, because I actually have a lot of Godzilla-themed videos on my YouTube show.
Matt's Geek Brain.
Matt's Geek Brain. So check out my Godzilla shorts and all my other
on Facebook,
delightful shorts on
Twitter and YouTube. And
Facebook,
on YouTube.
Twitter, and YouTube / Matt's Geek Brain. It's very easy to remember.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
But, of course, a lot of people look at the 98 Roland Emmerich, Matthew Broderick film, and it was a huge deal when it came out. Some
they would
consider
cross promotions and Taco Bell ads and commercials, and they had magazines and action figures.
Huge, yeah, such as.
I had them all. Peeps, when you're 17 and something like this happens, you will become obsessed with it. I mean, that's like the age of obsession. And
they were promoting it for a full year before then. I mean, I remember the summer of '97, after The Lost World came out, they had teaser trailers for Godzilla. And
from the makers of Independence Day.
They made a big deal out of it at New Year's, where there was Godzilla. 98 was the year of Godzilla. Its size matters. And
I'll defend Independence Day, too. It's one of the best UFO movies of all time. If not,
it's one of the
invasion movies. I don't know.
It's one of the most imitative. I mean, it certainly brought Earth versus the Flying Saucers and War of the Worlds for a new generation with some new spins, some new technology. They got some kind of protective shield over that thing.
One of the criticisms of Godzilla 98 was that they could have come up with their own creature and called it something else, and it would have been better. I mean, maybe Cloverfield was a better representation of what should have transpired, but if you can get the Godzilla name, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and it's actually pretty interesting. The design, when they changed it for the first original American production of Godzilla, or at least in years, it came down to the design. If they didn't like it, they weren't going to do it.
Yeah, and they were all quiet in the room when they unveiled it, and they didn't understand that. And that's like reverence. That's a good thing that they're quiet.
But the Japanese are complaining now that Godzilla looks too fat in the new one. So,
well, he eats a lot of buildings and things.
And Fiats.
And Fiats, yeah.
And coffee and strawberries and
strawberries
cream.
and creams, guys. Of course it's going to have a gut.
Yeah, and he's going to be 3 stories bigger.
I mean, yeah.
300 stories.
That's par for the course, yeah.
Yeah. For the new movie, I don't know. It was good. It was like as good as like a Christopher Nolan type movie can be, and Bryan Cranston's just the man. But it's not something that it's gonna break records. It's probably gonna break all kinds of records for a Godzilla movie, but it's something you could wait on. I think it's something you could watch at home. There's a lot of character and logic that just doesn't get fleshed out very well, and it could be Godzilla versus. That was one of my biggest problems with it. That Godzilla was just on the marquee, but he's only in it for a few minutes, or barely, not just a few, but barely at all.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I mean, all the peripheral
Destroy All
characters.
Monsters would have been probably a more accurate title.
Yeah, all the
with
peripheral
Godzilla.
characters that came out of Godzilla are almost as iconic as him.
Yeah.
Mothra, Rodan, Mechagodzilla, Aaron Burr.
Yeah.
Raymond Burr.
Aaron Burr got shot.
I know, in a famous duel, and you can't know that unless you have milk.
Yes. Or
Godzilla. That's right.
Who will drink all your milk?
Yeah, and your bottled frappuccinos.
In your bottled
and your
strawberries and cream. What do you think Godzilla eats? I mean, he eats a lot of fish.
Oh,
So said Matthew Broderick.
That's what the Emmerichs and Matthew Broderick have. He eats a lot of fish.
I think he eats Quiznos subs.
Yeah.
I think he eats giant chicken carbonara Quiznos subs.
That's what sustained us in our geek pursuits, so I'd imagine that Godzilla, being a geek himself, would be sustained by similar means.
But I think that hits on a serious note. I mean, Godzilla is one of those great things that you can just kind of project your hopes and dreams and fears onto. I mean, because in 1 minute he'll be destroying the city, which in the new movie, spoiler alert, he doesn't really destroy a lot of stuff on his own. The cities don't crumble because of Godzilla; they crumble because of who he's fighting.
Godzilla. Go ahead.
And in other instances, he's a hero, which he's painted as in this new movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's very polite. He would have stepped over the bridge had they not shot at him.
Godzilla is a cipher. He is whatever you need him to be. At the moment, he can be the hero. He can be, your repressed. I mean, it's like you're being. I know you're mad. I want a rampage.
I'm on a rampage.
You can take it out, yeah.
Ole, 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 ole. Cesaro moment. I think Cesaro likes Godzilla.
Yeah. Cesaro's a geek. He likes Godzilla.
As do.
Los Matadores. I think, what's the bull mascot? His name? El Torito?
El Torito, Toreador.
El Torito could be Godzilla.
Yes. Godzilla has never destroyed, and for the record, he's never destroyed Mexico City or Zurich, Switzerland. Right. It would be great. Godzilla attacks Zurich.
Oh, here, yep. Oh, wait. Oh. Marco Rubio moment. Hold on. Oh, my water's over here.
Yes. I'll take a little break myself.
Yeah.
So what have we learned today?
That Godzilla is awesome.
Yes.
And Marco Rubio is always thirsty.
Yes, and you can stick up for the '98 movie a little more.
And Aaron Burr wasn't.
Aaron Burr was not.
Yeah, he was shot by Alexander Hamilton in a famous duel for something.
Yeah. Raymond Burr was not shot ever, I don't think, in his life. I mean, he's not with us anymore. That's one thing he has in common with Aaron Burr. Were they related? I don't think they were related.
Yeah, but part of my motivation in this was to defend Godzilla '98. Yeah.
Yeah.
I collected all the toys. I got the fan magazine, which I still had, by the way. I mean, it was this awesome thing. I mean, the Emmerichs seemed to get anyone excited about it who was working on it. Like Matthew Broderick was saying, "Oh, I'm really excited." Hank Azaria, Jean Reno.
It was a pivotal movie. I mean, for its time, New York, Godzilla. I mean, what more could you want? Of
I want to
course,
say Cloverfield did it better, but it's almost like apples and oranges to me. But
because for one thing,
I dug Cloverfield too, by the way.
they didn't have Godzilla, and it was all handheld camera, which wasn't totally necessary. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you want to have a better explanation for hatchlings and for people being caught unawares when a monster attacks. I mean, I get that, but there's other ways of going about that.
Peeps, this morning before filming, I watched Godzilla '98 again, and it's on Chiller. It was part of this Godzilla marathon.
Yeah,
it's like a Legion thing. And
Chiller is great about that, and there's so many other channels that doing these marathons of their favorite.
A lot of the
best
Easter eggs,
Godzilla movies.
the mayor looked like Roger Ebert. It was like a take and stuff, and he's always admonishing this guy that looks exactly like Gene Siskel, which is his assistant.
Named Gene, which was
like
now that Siskel and Ebert are no longer with us, it's kind of tasteless. But
well, no, back then, I mean, they were.
The estate hasn't sued yet, so.
Right. Yeah, and then some of the acting was there the lines delivered. Matthew Broderick's a great actor, but they were kind of flat. Like his reporter girlfriend stole the tape, and he's like, "You leaked the tape to the thing." What? No, I didn't. What are you talking about? I'm not getting incensed. I'm kind of flat and monotone.
I'm Matthew Broderick. I'm chill. She took it.
Exactly.
I think that's what fans have a problem with that.
Legion too.
Yeah, but Bryan Cranston, I have a right to know.
We're gonna raid Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, there was. I remember I was leaving the theater with a buddy of mine, and we said that this Godzilla movie kind of had characters that weren't as well fleshed out as even the Emmerich version. That you could sympathize that there was more of a story to each person in the cast, but that's another thing about Godzilla is that the people on the ground are as important as what he's doing. You really do. Got to make it easy on me. I can only edit this show for so long, or so many times. Okay. Where was I? Yes. The human element in Godzilla is just as important as the monster himself, which is why, I mean, not only does it save you money on special effects, but to follow these characters, every Japanese movie since Raymond Burr and since Japan has done that. And it's a big deal to the conspiracy with Bryan Cranston was a huge deal in the new movie. People dealing with the attacks and reporting on it back home who were sort of displaced in Japan, that was a huge deal. And Godzilla's destruction of the ship, I mean, that's one thing they had in common in between 98 and the first movie was the attack on the ship. And it being, our hubris of
They could have like a Raymond Burr character who is really good at looking out blinds.
No. It had a guy open the door and get totally freaked out at like, oh my gosh, this big sea dragon has eaten us and taken all the fish. And of course he's on the island.
Did he like fish in this one? The new one? Bryan Cranston on this one?
No, he liked toxic waste. And bugs. Big bug creatures. I don't know, they didn't really explain Godzilla's diet too much. They just kind of made it he's a force of nature that comes out to hunt whenever there's a fight.
That's a good way of putting it. He's elemental. He's just, he's eternal. He's there. He will be there, I mean, I'd like to see a crossover. Maybe it's just to keep talking. Like, I'd like to put Batman against everybody. But you could have Team Batman trying to save Gotham City from Godzilla.
Or, the Avengers.
The Avengers.
Saving New York and from Godzilla. And that was actually what S.H.I.E.L.D. was tasked with.
In the Avengers movie, the giant flying... What was it? The Chitauri?
The Chitauri dragon worm thing. Ship, yeah. Which, it's interesting you bring that up, because the DP of Godzilla is the same as the DP on Avengers, Seamus McGarvey, and he brought a lot of... That's probably how he got this job, is they knew he could bring the monster element to the fight. He could bring the enormity to the fights. But the fight scenes were a little... I don't know, go see it. I don't want to spoil too much, and we should probably wrap it up anyway. I give the new Godzilla a stream it, although we didn't really review it, like, this isn't about the movie. This is about the character.
I still see it. I think Chiller TV had the right idea today. If you just have a hankering for Godzilla, just give yourself a good Godzilla marathon. You know, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Godzilla '98, Godzilla 2000, Destroy All Monsters, Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yes.
Thank you.
Speaking of crossovers, which in that awful suit, and I'm gonna dispel a myth right now. People believe that Godzilla won in a Japanese cut of that movie. Not true.
Who won Godzilla versus King Kong? Who won? Batman. That's who won.
Yes. And that's who's gonna win again.
Mm-hmm. Tear it up, Affleck.
Yes. He's gonna rock it, kill it. What did they say?
He's gonna crush it.
He's gonna crush it. Crush.
I'll say
Rusev, crush.
He'll crush it.
Yes. Batman versus Alexander Rusev.
Oh, that would be probably Rusev.
We all win because we get to see Lana.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, not to change the subject too terribly, but you, I don't know, like characters like Batman or even Godzilla or whatever, you know, it's like you say, you know, Michael Keaton as Batman, you know, Ben Affleck's going to be great. So Michael Keaton, Robert Downey Jr., fans that were in it for about, an unknown Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. It always seems to work out, so I have faith Affleck's going to crush it.
And with that transition, we would like to thank you for joining us. Those of you who will watch this, hopefully lots of you, want to strike while the iron's hot, want to talk about something that's relevant.
Pertinent, yeah.
Even if we're kind of just sitting here.
Talking about Godzilla.
Yeah. For Geek Thoughts, I'm Eric. This is Matt's Geek Brain. Godzilla going to eat him. Join us next time, and we'll talk about Marvel vs. DC.
Yeah, and how great Starbucks.
Yes, we will have
strawberries and cream are.
We'll have some more of those for the next show. Till next time, cheers, and remember, size matters.